It's like a last day or last hour classroom here because we are all teachers, and normally the teachers cannot stand in one place and talk. So that's why I needed a collar mic. It took 2 minutes. First and foremost, I thank the authority for giving the opportunity to talk here about our school. Our school is one step ahead of certain other schools because we are actually implementing ICT when everybody was talking about it way back from 1998. The school is not a school with normal children coming and taking a textbooks and writing and reading and going away. The entire thing is like we have taken away the textbooks, homeworks, tests and examinations, and we want the children to come to school empty-handed and go back home without homework. That's the whole idea we all had. And on that basis, we have incorporated certain things in the classroom. What we are doing instead of textbook, what we are doing instead of homework is the ICT which is in our school. So I'll just, I'm not going to, because it's going to be 7 to 8 minutes, and if I'm going to talk, as teachers and speakers cannot stop in the middle. So what I do is, I'll just go through certain things which really is going to be very, very relevant to today's topic. The first and foremost is, as I told you, is the removal of the textbooks, what we have done in our school. Because the process of globalization started earlier in 1998, as I mentioned. We have actually got an award yesterday for a title called deterritorialization. That means we are removing territories amongst the world. That means we are creating a virtual Panacea that everybody are united in one place as school, as though we don't meet each other every day. It's basically that we are looking for. The globalization or anything cannot be done without ICT into the education. So, one small clipping from a child in our school who is studying now in grade 12, and what a child perspective about an ICT. Actually, we need to connect to the...
So how has technology helped me learn, and how has it changed the time?
I'm just not going to pull it.
Well, earlier we used to wonder if we had a difficult topic in front of us, we used to wonder how to do it. Suppose chemistry, an equation which we can't decipher, what do? We can practically do the experiments, but some experiments we cannot do it here. So what we do, we go to our technology which is available to us. On the computer, we can just look at a couple of videos and we've understood it so much more better. Not only does it help in our understanding, but it facilitates us to look at problems in an entirely different perspective. It gives us the kind of exposure we need to become the next global citizens. Technology is the way forward. It has been helping us from the very roots of education. Earlier we used to cheat education, but the fact that we used to write our exams by mugging and reproducing. But now...
See, the student, a child who is thinking that if they are not able to study something very easily, they are not decipher something very easily, they go to the technology. That means today's world, the children are expecting them to be taught in a different way. It's not that you can go, read, write, finish the examination and walk away. Everybody does that. Whenever we are talking about child-centric education, you have to take the perspective of the child. The perspective of the child is, I want to be taught in a different way. I need to understand what I study. If I have to understand what I study, I should be shown visually. Today's world, 2 months old children, my parents put them in a small walker, put them in front of television and feed them. Why? Because they think the children are going to connect to television so quickly. That's basically what every school are trying to do. Whiteboards, smart boards, everything. But in our school, what we did is, we incorporated certain thing called lesson plan, which is created by the teachers, indigenously digitized, put it on the server and comment. I'll just make a small video of that, one small probably a glimpse of how the ICT is being... I'm sorry, before that I just want you to see this. This is what we all do. I think it's running. This is what we are actually having an assessment like everybody. All elephants and alligator climbing the tree here, basically. I'll just show you that, how the classrooms go here. I'm actually rushing because of time is not there. This is a classroom in which a teacher looks into the child all the time. She has a tab in her hand and there is a monitor behind and she's reading a passage. The children are looking into her and she is connected totally to the class. The multiple intelligence, what Madam was just mentioning, is completely taken care of because everything is being visualized in front of the students. Even if the child is not able to hear, the child is not able to talk, the child can be related to the television because he knows it from 2 months old. He knows the particular thing from 2 months. And same way, as somebody was mentioning about the assessment part of it, again, assessment is something which has to give the immediate feedback for the teacher. You can see a monitor, there is a small device in front of them, that is the remote in the classroom, in which children answer the questions through that remote, like a polling, and finally, the teacher gets a correct feedback at the end of the class immediately, because the children go and press the remote. And the answer is immediate feedback to the teacher, and she gets a screen like this at the end of the thing, so that she knows that how many children have understood, how many children have not. That's the screen what they get. That is, when most of the children have understood green, children have not understood red, not answered is white. And the teacher knows the classroom, okay, what I have just taught has been understood very clearly. So this is a certain thing, immediate feedback. We are not believing in the feedbacks after 10 days correction in the notebook. Immediate feedbacks, just he was mentioning, that is the way in which the teacher goes into the class. So the lesson plans and the digitization and the importance of visual impact on the children is something which has been a hallmark of Vidyashilpa Academy. Because when we have used ICT, we have used a very, very simple technique of a server being used in the classrooms through the monitors, but it's very simple to look at, but it is very, very highly recommended because the classroom is something the children need to be interacting with each other rather than listening to one teacher. We make the teachers facilitators. We never ask them to keep the children quiet. Our classrooms are interactive. Children do ask questions. So if that happens, the classroom is going to be beyond. The children are going to learn more by sharing experiences rather than sitting and listening to the teacher all the time. So basically, all these things are not done in one day. And we were able to bring this as a successful feedback for all of us because the children were given an opportunity to even ask for a particular topic today. Ma'am, we have seen this in the paper, we want to know it. So this is how the curriculum becomes dynamic, and the dynamic curriculum is something which we are very proud about. Because the people who are coming in, the children who are coming in, they ask. In fact, when we had tsunami in in Indonesia recently or Japan, we asked the children came and asked me, what is a tsunami? We could get the footage from the BBC, you can show them directly what tsunami is. This is the power of ICT because basically the children can see anything and everything in the classroom. Why means? Seeing at home is different, seeing in the classroom is different. Seeing in the classroom with the teachers, support is different. That is what exactly we are tapping from so long today. So basically, if education cannot keep pace with today's world, today's children, because they are tactfully, technologically, and also information-ridden children today. They know much better than the adults that everybody have to accept because they are exposed to a lot of new things, media, and they do go for in search of knowledge. If the teachers are not equipped in such a way, if the school is not giving such a kind of education, very, very comprehensive and also looking into differentiated learning, as she was telling about multiple intelligence, we used a word called differentiated classroom as our Cambridge people normally put it across. A differentiated classroom is something will happen only when we incorporate ICT in a very, very appropriate level. It cannot take over a teacher, but it will be supplementary and complementary to the teacher. Thank you for the opportunity.